Welcome to another episode of On a Legal Note by Carrie Geren Scoggins. Native American school children from the Pit River tribe in California are receiving threats and harassing notes, racially motivated, saying things such as, watch their, quote, red-skinned backs and white pride. These Native American students are having their civil rights violated. Race is a protected class under the law. The teachers in their school system are obligated by law to investigate and end any harassment due to racial threats that these Native American students are suffering. This holds true in any state office. Government employees are not allowed to just overlook racial discrimination when it's within their authority to step in and end said actions. Native American rights are oftentimes dismissed by teachers and those within the school system. Native Americans have been told they're not United States citizens, and they're therefore not protected class status. This, however, is not in actuality the truth. They are covered by protected class status under ethnicity, as well as, in some cases, religion, depending on which type of discrimination they're suffering. These school students are receiving racial discrimination based on their Native American heritage. All Native Americans suffering harassment need to get this harassment on audio or video recordings to use for court. Go to the police. Make sure that you fill out police reports for every single incident and that you get it on tape, audio and video, so that the court cannot say there's no proof. In order to file suit, make sure that you have documentation through police reports on certain instances where these type of racial slurs or harassment has taken place, and build up those police reports over time. This is proof for court. Get it on audio and video. Go ahead and file suit. Also, take out restraining orders or an order of protection against those who are doing the harassment or that are making racial slurs. And in the case of these students, they should definitely save all notes passed to them in class with the racial slurs, threatening statements written on the note, showing proof for court. They have the note in their hand. Make sure the attorneys get it, and so does law enforcement. If you get a conviction for their racial harassment or hate crimes and threats, then file suit in a civil court for racial discrimination. The charges placed against the perpetrators will ensure you receive punitive damages. Any Native American receiving racial threats or harassment or being discriminated against by a state employee, ranging from that of teachers in the school system all the way through law enforcement or any state agency, should indeed document the harassment or discrimination, if possible, audio and video recordings, any paper documentation or threats written down, any heckling of them videotaped, and save this for court to sue for protected class status under race violations and discrimination suits. On a personal note from my own background, I am a Native American, a Cherokee registered on the Lee Registry of the Cherokee Nation. I spent my years in junior high school suffering racial slurs and harassment, and even having been mistaken for being Hispanic. rocks thrown at me, called spick and wetback, and years of racial slurs, even bringing up casinos to make negative statements about Native Americans to me. The racial stereotypes of, quote, a drunk Indian. We all know the racial slurs still exist, and the Native Americans are an extreme minority due to the genocide here in the United States against our race. They have very few people speaking up for them, and it is long since past due for the Native American civil rights to be defended in the court systems in the United States of America. This land was originally theirs, and yet they're still suffering discrimination. Many that call themselves a minority in the United States today are anything but. The Native Americans are the true racial minority. We know what it's like to be the only one in the building, the only one in town, and probably one of the few in the state. A true racial minority, when you're the only one. Most of the time, this means there's very few people speaking up for you in your stead. We have to use the court systems to support Native American civil rights. This has been another episode of On a Legal Note by Carrie Geren Scoggins. Look for more information. Carrie Geren Scoggins Political Newsletter and Carrie Geren Scoggins Political Newsletter Bible Prophecy Times Edition, Facebook pages and bloggers.